Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 20th. Boston has won 13 in a row. Baltimore has won 7. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? We are back to baseball. We're back with the second half of the season. It started this weekend. We had our first series play through. And when you take the continuation from the first half, some teams are really getting hot at the right time. We're just 2 weeks away from the deadline, and we've got a lot to go over in today's episode. So with that all being said, let's dive on into our series recap. Leading us off, we've got the Dodgers and the Yankees. Aaron Boone makes a decision to leave Cole in the game, which backfires as Max Muncy hits the go-ahead 2-run home run, ends up being the difference in a 2-1 Dodgers win. Rain on Saturday sets up the doubleheader on Sunday, where the Dodgers blow it open with 5 runs in the 8th as Yoshinobu Yamamoto finishes the complete game shutout. 8-2 Dodgers the final, and in the other game, the Dodgers tie it with Tommy Edman hitting an 8th inning home run. The Yankees retake the lead on a Jazz Chisholm 8th inning home run. They go on to win it 2-1 the final to avoid the sweep. Rays and Red Sox now. It's a 4-game series going back to a game from May 9th. We have a doubleheader on Friday, which starts with Masataka Yoshida and Carlos Narvaez both going deep. The Red Sox score 6 in the 6th as they blank the Rays in a 10-0 victory. Willie Abreu had a 2-homer game in that second game. Contreras homers as well. The Red Sox win it 5-3 the final. We go to Saturday now, where Willie Abreu does it again. Another 2-homer game, with his second being a go-ahead 2-run blast as the Red Sox come back from down 3 to win their 12th straight game, 7-6 the final. And in the last game, Victor Mesa Jr. hits an inside-the-park home run, his second home run of the series. However, Wilson Contreras gets his second home run of the series. The Red Sox score 6 unanswered as they have now won 13 straight games. They get the 4-game sweep over the Rays. They win it 6-1. White Sox and Blue Jays. Now the White Sox score 3+ runs in 3 different innings, including a home run from Sam Atanachi, a bases-clearing triple from Braden Montgomery, and 3 RBIs for Colson Montgomery as they win it 12-4. The Blue Jays on Saturday honor their back-to-back World Series teams in 92 and 93 with their first ever statue of Joe Carter's iconic walk-off home run to win them the 93 World Series. This game has a Springer RBI single for the only run of the game. The Blue Jays win it 1-0. And in the last game, Colson Montgomery, he hits a home run to get the White Sox this series win 3-0 the final as they take 2 of 3 from Toronto. Padres and Royals now. Ty France ties this game up with a home run in the 9th inning. The Padres score 3 in the extra innings in the 10th inning. The Royals, though, one up that. They get 4 in the 10th as Carter Jansen gets the game-winning hit, the 2 RBI single that gets the Royals the walk-off win, 7-6 the final in 10. In Game 2, Lane Thomas, he hits a homer in back-to-back games now. Captain Salvador Perez, his 12th home run of the season, leads the Royals to a 6-1 victory. But in the last game, Jackson Merrill, a 2-homer game. Ty France, a 2-homer game, including a grand slam. Tatis homers as well. The Padres score 4 runs, 5 runs, and 6 runs, all in different innings. For the blowout win, the Padres avoid the sweep 19-2 the final. And Guardians now. The first game is postponed due to poor air quality, which set the doubleheader on Saturday. Jacob Gonzalez, Esmeralin Valdez, and Nick Gonzalez all go deep in a 7-1 Pirates win. In the second game, Guardians down 3 in the 8th, tie it with 3. They finish it in the 9th with the young Aussie Travis Bazzana hitting his first career walk-off home run for the win, 5-3 the final. And in the last game, Esmeralin Valdez hits another home run in the series, his 12th of the year, 7-1 Pirates as they take this series. Tigers and Angels now. Hua Yu Lee comes through with the go-ahead 2 RBI double in the 9th. to give the Tigers the win 2-1 the final. Spencer Torkelson with a 2-homer game in Game 2, part of a 7-0 Tigers win. And in the last game, it's Kevin McGonigal and Riley Green both hitting solo shot home runs, but the Angels get 3 unanswered to avoid the sweep. 3-2 Halos, they take that last game. Giants and Mariners now. Bryce Eldridge homers. Willie Adames with a grand slam. The Giants blank the Mariners and win the opener 7-0. Rafael Devers and Willie Adames both go deep in Game 2. However, Cole Young nullifies that with a game-tying 3-run home run in the 7th. This one goes to extras where it's Julio Rodriguez. He is the hero with the walk-off sac fly for the win. Mariners with a 4-3 victory in 10. We go to the other match where Luke Raley hits the go-ahead home run in the 6th. Cole Young adds insurance in the 7th with a 2-run shot. The Mariners with a 6-3 victory to take the series. Orioles and Astros now. Taylor Ward hits a go-ahead home run in the 8th. That's the difference in a 3-2 Baltimore win. In Game 2, this one goes to extras where both teams score in the 10th. But in the 11th, the Orioles grab 2 runs in the inning. They hold the Astros to none. They get the extra innings win, beating the Astros 4-2 in 11. And in the last game, Kobe Mayo hits one out, his 13th homer of the year. The O's get the sweep over the Astros 5-2, the final. Nationals and A's now. The Nats unload with 2 4-run innings, a 5-run inning, and a 6-run inning. Andreas Shapiro with a 2-homer game and 8 RBIs. Harry Ford, his first career MLB home run, and Dalen Lyle goes deep as well. The Nats blow it open 23-4, the final. In Game 2, the A's go from blown out to blowout with home runs from Jacob Wilson, Tyler Soderstrom, and Carlos Cortez. They score 15 unanswered runs and was so close for the shutout. The A's with a 15-1 victory. And in the last game, a normal scoring game. CJ Abrams and Dylan Cruz hit back-to-back home runs. The Nats win it 5-2, the final. Rangers and Braves now. Drake Baldwin, Matt Olson, and Austin Riley all tee off for homers in a 15-1 Braves win. In Game 2, Jock Peterson and Evan Carter both homer as the Rangers edge out the Braves with a 7-6 victory. And in the last game, Austin Riley, a 2-homer game. Drake Baldwin, a 2-homer game. The Braves win it 8-5 and take 2 of 3 from the Rangers. Mets and Phillies now. Francisco Alvarez with a 2-homer game. Brett Beatty goes deep. The Mets win it 4-1 the final. In Game 2, Kyle Schwarber with his 33rd of the season. Trey Turner homers as well. Phillies with a 6-1 victory. And in the last game, Lindor hits a first-inning home run. The Mets score 5 in the first 2 innings, go on to win it 6-1 and take 2 of 3 from the Phillies in Philly. Marlins and Brewers now. Joey Ortiz homers to tie this game up. We go to extras where it's Garrett Mitchell with the walk-off RBI single for the win. The Brewers with a 2-1 victory. They then follow it up with a comeback, scoring 8 unanswered with 4 in the 6th, which got them the lead. They go with an 8-6 victory. And in the last game, down 1 in the 9th, the Brewers get the win on a walk-off 3-run bomb from William Contreras as he bat flips his bat to the moon. They sweep the Marlins 3-1 the final. Twins and Cubs now. Ryan Jeffers makes a statement with his go-ahead 3-run home run. 5-2 Minnesota. They take the opener. Cody Clemens with a 2-homer game in Game 2. However, the Cubs score 5 in the first 3 innings, including a first-inning homer from Michael Busch right to Anthony Rizzo for the second time in back-to-back years. What are the odds? Cubs with a 9-2 victory. They then go on to score all 10 runs in the first 4 innings of this game, including an Alex Bregman bomb. 10-1 Cubs, the final in that one. Cardinals and D-backs now. Tim Tawa and Corbin Carroll homer for the Snakes. J.J. Weatherholt homers for the Cardinals, who take the lead in the 9th on an Ivan Herrera sac fly. They take the opener 5-4 the final. In Game 2, Nolan Arenado a 2 RBI double as the D-backs score 5 unanswered to come and win it 5-3. And in the last game, the D-backs come back from down 7-0 to tie it. They get an inside the park home run from Geraldo Perdomo, a game-tying 8th inning home run from Nolan Arenado. This one goes to extras where the D-backs put a stamp on the comeback with a walk-off double for the win. Max Kepler, the hero. The D-backs go from 7-0 down to the 8-7 win in 10 as they take 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. We go lastly now, Reds and Rockies. Spencer Steer, a 2-homer game, one of which being an inside the park home run. Eugenio Suarez and Eddie De La Cruz both homer as well. 7-2 Reds the final. In game 2, it's the rookie TJ Rumfield. He has a game going 4 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBIs as he helps the Rockies even the series 10-3 the final. And in the last game, Hunter Goodman does it again, his second 3-homer game of the season. But despite that, the Rockies still fall. Tyler Stevenson, a 2-homer game, and he was joined by Nathaniel Lau and Sal Stewart, who also went deep in this one. The Reds take a 9-6 victory, take 2 of 3 from the Rockies, and that's your series recap. All right, now let's get to the games of the weekend. That's right, games. We've got 3 great ones. We're going to start in Kansas City for the Padres and the Royals. Game 1 of this series was electric. It starts in the bottom of the second as Lane Thomas hits his 8th homer of this season to put the Royals up 1-0. In the 5th, Luis Campusano reaches on a fielder's choice, which ends up scoring 2 thanks to an error by Michael Massey. The Padres take a 2-1 lead. Bottom 6, Salvador Perez, he ends up reaching on a fielder's choice with the help of a throwing error by Xander Bogaerts as that ties this game up 2 apiece. The Royals, though, bottom 8th, Michael Massey with the single and the help of a throwing error by Jackson Merrill. There was 4 errors in this game total. Royals take a 3-2 lead. They just need 3 outs to win it, but Ty France says no, 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 as he hits his 12th homer of the season. The solo shot ties it at 3 as we go to extras. Miguel Andujar with an RBI double in the 10th. Fernando Tatis with the RBI single. And then Xander Bogaerts, the sac fly. Padres pick up 3 in the 10th. They're feeling pretty good about it. However, the Royals come back. Michael Massey, an RBI single, makes it 6-4. Then Isaac Collins grounds out, which picks up a run, making it 6-5. And then Carter Jensen laces a ball into deep left field. 1 run scores to tie, and 1 run scores to walk off the Padres and win them this game. 7-6 the final in 10. Big game there for the Royals. Game 2, we're looking at the Rays and the Red Sox, the 3rd game of the series, thanks to the doubleheader on Friday here. Red Sox, the hottest team in baseball. The Rays, though, score first. Chandler Simpson, an RBI single, makes it 1-0. Nick Fortes, an RBI single, makes it 2-0 after the top of the second. However, the Red Sox get those 2 runs right back in the bottom of the second as Jemiah Jones hits his 3rd home run of the season. It's a 2-run shot, and it's a brand new ball game. Bottom 3rd, Willie Abreu hit 2 homers in the 2nd game of the doubleheader on Friday. He hits his another home run in the bottom of the 3rd, a solo shot, his 14th of the season, gives the Red Sox the lead, but that only lasts until the top of the 4th, where Chandler Simpson ends up stealing 3rd, and because of a throwing error from Carlos Narvaez, he comes on in to score. That ties the game. Victor Mesa Jr. then hits a solo shot, his 6th of the year, making the Rays in the lead 4-3, and then Yandy Diaz with the RBI single puts the Rays up 5-3. Top 7, Johnny DeLuca hits his 6th home run of the season, another solo shot. The Rays have a 6-3 lead, but we go to the bottom of the 7th, where Masataka Yoshida picks up an RBI ground out for the first out of the inning before Cedane Rafaela gets the RBI double. Boston's within 1 with a runner on, and it's Wilyer Abreu again. A 2-homer game on Friday, a 2-homer game on Saturday. His 15th of the season is a go-ahead 2-run home run. Boston with a 7-6 lead goes on to win it 7-6, and they're back above 500. A huge game for the Red Sox. In the last game of the weekend, we're going to Arizona. Cardinals versus Arizona here. It starts in the top of the 3rd. Blaze Jordan with the RBI triple, puts the Cardinals up 1-0 in the top of the third, but they are not done. J.J. Weatherholt, an RBI single, Jordan Walker, an RBI double, and all of a sudden it's 3-0 before Alec Burleson picks up two more with two RBIs on his single. The Cardinals score 5 in the third. They add two more in the fifth. Blaze Jordan, the 2 RBI single. Cardinals with a 7-0 lead. In the bottom of the sixth, Arizona finally gets on the board. Ketel Marte with the RBI single, making it 7-1. Then two bases loaded walks to Gabby Moreno and Tyler Locklear ends up making it 7-3, but the Diamondbacks can't score any more yet. With a runner on in the bottom of the seventh, Geraldo Perdomo hits an inside the park home run, his 7th home run of this season, and as it gets under the glove of the left fielder, and the Diamondbacks are within 2. With a runner on in the bottom of the 8th, Nolan Arenado ties this game, his 13th of the year. It's a brand new ball game from down 7. They tie it up. We end up in extras where after Arizona holds the Cardinals, Max Kepler picks up the RBI double for the win. 8-7 the final. It ties the D-backs for the franchise record in the largest comebacks in their history with 7 runs. They go on to win it 8-7, and that is that for the games of the weekend. 3 amazing games that you guys should definitely check out the highlights for if you missed them over the weekend, because again, there was just so much great baseball going down. So now let's get into the baseball news. And the first thing we got to talk about is these Boston Red Sox, because they have turned their season around here. They have won 13 straight games. It's the longest winning streak for the Red Sox, going back all the way to 1948. And as I mentioned, with that amazing game on Saturday, they are back over 500 for the first time since they were 1-0. That's right. They won game 1 of the season, then lost game 2, then lost game 3, and they have not been back over 500 since this Saturday, since 2 days ago. They have completely rewritten their season. They had such a horrid start to the season. They fired a lot of their team, management-wise. Alex Cora was gone. You're thinking, oh, this season is chalked. Boston's dead in the water. They're making memes. They're the joke because they were supposed to be good. Yeah, they've had some injuries, but, it's also been bad play and all this bad stuff. And here they are sitting pretty at 50-48. After completely changing their season's outlook. I mean, they were dead in the water. A fun stat about that game on Saturday as well. The Red Sox this season were 0 for 34 when down 3 or more runs in a game all season long. They get that comeback win going from 6-3. Willie Abreu, what a weekend he had. 4 homers, 2 in the second game on Friday, 2 on Saturday. That second one, the go-ahead shot, gets them their 12th win in a row. They're now 1-34 when trailing 3 or more runs. It's a completely different looking Boston team. They've gone from last in the division to 3rd. And, by the way, a little spoiler for the standings check, they're in a wild card spot right now. 13 wins in a row. All you need is 2 great weeks of baseball. Not only has Boston's last weeks been great, they've been perfect. 13-0, and they're looking for more. And they're not the only AL East team on hot streak right now, because Baltimore has won 7 in a row. They haven't been as bad as Boston's been. They're still under 500, but winning 7 in a row has certainly changed the outlook for Baltimore. It's their first 7-game winning streak since they did it in September of 2023. By the way, that was the season that Baltimore won 100-plus games. So that is a big thing for the O's here. The AL East continues to be competitive right now. And of course, Boston, getting that 4-game sweep to get to those 13 wins. They did it against the Rays, who, by the way, were first in the AL East. The Yankees dropped 2 of 3 to the Dodgers. So it's a big shakeup happening in the AL East. You're kind of turning this into a little 3-team battle as Boston gets back into it with the Yankees and the Rays. But I digress. Right now, Boston and Baltimore, they are alive and well, changing their season's outlook. And speaking of Baltimore. Not only are they on that 7-game winning streak, but they've also decided to extend a pitcher, Kyle Bradish. He's getting the bag, 5 years for $90 million. Kyle Bradish, a staple in Baltimore's team. He's been there his entire career, debuted in 2022. And in his 5 years, he's picked up 9 career WAR. He's 25-24 in 86 games, all starts, a 3.5 ERA with 485 strikeouts. He's been injured the last couple of years, but when he's been pitching, he's been so good. You look back at that 2023 season where Baltimore won those 100 games. He made 30 starts to a 2.83 ERA. So amazing. In 24, only made 8 starts, but had a 2.75 ERA. In 2025, only made 6 starts, but a 2.53 ERA. So when healthy, he's been good. So far this year, he's been good. 19 games, a 3.61 ERA. He's doing everything he can. His numbers have been great across those 5 years. Again, shortened sample size because, last 2 seasons, he hasn't even made 10 starts in either of them, but still a great pitcher that Baltimore wanted. They get it. They extend him to that 5-year deal worth $9 million. Good for him here. We'll talk now Aaron Civale, as he has been traded from the Athletics to the Chicago Cubs. Funny enough for Civale, it's his 4th year in a row being traded. In 2023, he was traded from Cleveland to the Rays. In 2024, he was traded from the Rays to the Brewers. In 2025, he was traded from the Brewers to the White Sox. He was eventually DFA'd, where the Cubs picked him up off of waivers. He then signed this year with the Athletics before the Cubs say, nah, we want you, we're getting you back. And he's heading back to the Chicago Cubs. When he was with the Cubs last year in that short stint, he only played in 5 games. And all 5 of those games were out of the bullpen. He has expressed a lot last year his distaste coming out as a relief pitcher. He is a starter. He likes to be a starter. He wants to be a starter. The Cubs last year in those 5 games only used him as a reliever, but I gotta say, it was a good stint for him. In 13 innings with the Cubs last year, picked up 3 earned runs. He had a 2.08 ERA. You look at the rest of his numbers, and you're looking at high 3s, middle 4s. This year with the Athletics, he hasn't been great. In 16 games, he's made 15 starts. To a 5.42 ERA. He's 5-7 on the year, 74 2/3 innings pitched with just 58 strikeouts. In his 8-year career, he's up to a 4.26 ERA, 156 games with 150 starts. Those 6 relief appearances, 5 of which last year with the Cubs, 1 of which this year with the Athletics. The Cubs trading for him. They are sending over right-handed prospect pitcher Aiden Moffett in exchange to the Athletics. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cubs do. Obviously, starting pitcher has been an issue for them this year. A lot of injuries that they're dealing with. However, Civale, with a very, very short sample size, seems to be a much better relief pitcher, but I mean, the Cubs need guys who can go the distance, can eat innings. Civale can do that for you. Can he do it at a consistently good level? Of course, the Cubs, a team trying to chase down the Brewers in the NL Central. They're 6 games back. However, they're in a nice position in the wild card, being 4.5 games up on the line. Cubs looking for a postseason, and hopefully Aaron Civale is a part of that and can help them win some games here down the stretch. So that is the trade that has gone down. Let's now take a look and give some flowers to Hunter Goodman, who hit his second 3-run homer game of the season. He's up to 30 on the year, and he's in some pretty interesting company right now. He's the 25th player in MLB history to have 2 3-homer games, or 2 plus 3 homer games in a single season. And right now, the Rockies have just, I believe, 60 games. Don't quote me. I believe it's 61 games still left on the year, maybe even 59. I don't know, somewhere around that range of games left for the Rockies, where he could join Sammy Sosa as the only player in MLB history, the only players in history with 3 homer games in a season. Hunter Goodman, he is a prolific home run hitter. He bursted on the scene last year, broke out in a big way, and this year has not slowed down. The question will be, will he be traded at the deadline? I think that is a valid question to ask here. And speaking of that trade deadline, as I mentioned, it is just 2 weeks away, and there are some interesting names that are starting to fly around the rumor wheel. Hunter Goodman being one of those players, of course, he's on contract for another couple of years, I believe. So it would be a pretty heavy package, but I know of plenty of teams that would be looking for a good power hitting right-handed bat catcher. Ones that come up to mind quickly, the New York Yankees could definitely be in the market for a player of his caliber. Some other names floating around the Nationals with Foster Griffin, the Giants, Luis Arias. Of course, that's a name that you're definitely expecting to be dealt. The Tigers are in an interesting position because they're obviously trying to hunt down the wild card and trying to get back into the race there. But they've got Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal. Both guys will be free agents. So, if you want to still stay in the hunt, maybe you trade Mize but hold on to Skubal. Maybe you trade both of them, call it a season. Maybe you keep both of them. Who knows? Freddie Peralta is a definitely name that the Mets will be looking to trade, as well as plenty of other guys. A big one here that I found out was Taylor Ward being shopped around by Baltimore a little bit potentially. Of course, Ward, got traded from the Angels to the Orioles in his last season of his contract right now. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this year. But of course, Baltimore, this was when they were, a week ago when they were shit. They weren't doing so well. Now they've won 7 straight. They're only 2 games back of a wild card. Maybe they hold on to Ward. Maybe they think they can fight. Like, that's the thing right now. As you mentioned in the AL East specifically, like, so many teams are within like 5 games of the wild card. And again, there's like 60 plus games left in the season, 60-ish games for some teams here. So if you want to go for it, you can go for it. There's a lot more teams that I think will be buying in the market than selling. And I think there's a team or two that like could be competing for a playoff spot that might just say, I think it's better to build up the farm system, trade away some guys, and we'll retool a little bit and work again next year, which, I mean, it could be interesting, but these 2 weeks are going to go by fast and hot, and there's a lot that we'll have to be covering. So stay tuned for all of those trades and more. For now, let's get into the hot and colds of the week here. Of course, this is just for the 3 games or, 3-game series that we all had because it was the All-Star break, so there was not a full week of things to go over. Drake Baldwin was hot for the Braves, 10 for 14 with 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 5 runs, and a 2.090 OPS. Austin Riley goes 6 for 12 with 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.788 OPS. Fernando Tatis Jr. from the Padres, 6 for 12, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 4 runs, and a 1.571 OPS. Ty France, 5 for 12, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, 4 runs, a 1.833 OPS. And of course, Wilyer Abreu, 5 for 13, 4 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.685 OPS. Boston in a good spot. For the cold players, you've got Cam Smith, who goes 0 for 13 with 5 strikeouts. James Wood, 1 for 14 with 10 strikeouts. Kazuma Okamoto, 0 for 11 with 3 strikeouts. Ryan O'Hearn, 0 for 10 with 3 strikeouts. And Mookie Betts, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. That is your hot and cold from the week, or should I say weekend is a better representation of these numbers. As we now look at the injury updates from the weekend here, Brewers play Sal Frelick on the 10-day IL with a strained shoulder. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. on the 10-day IL with a strained groin. Blaze Alexander on the 10-day IL from Baltimore, a fractured left hand. And a couple of guys out for the season. Brad Keller from the Phillies. He's got a torn elbow ligament. Brandon Woodruff, he's done for the year with a shoulder surgery that he needs. The same surgery that he actually had back in 2023, which kind of kept him out for almost 2 full seasons. So Brad Keller, Brandon Woodruff, both out for the season. The rest of those guys land on the 10-day IL. Those are the injury updates. And now that brings us to the outstanding performances from the weekend here. Reed Detmers goes 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 7 Ks. Landon Rope goes 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 2 Ks. Peter Lambert continues his great season, 6 innings, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Chris Sale, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 6 Ks. Brady Singer, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 6 Ks. Tarek Skubal, 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts for him. Shane Bieber, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Trevor Rogers, 6 1/3, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. JT Jin, 6 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 9 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and 7 Ks, gets the complete game. Sean Burke, 6 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 5 Ks. Paul Skeen, 7 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 8 Ks. Foster Griffin, 7 innings, 8 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts there. Nolan McLean, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts against the Phillies. Great start for him. Yuri Perez goes 6 innings, a hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 9 Ks. And then Shota Imanaga, 7 innings, 6 hits, no runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. Those are the outstanding performances from the weekend. And now it's time for the standings check to see how this second half of the season is starting. In the AL East, the Rays have now lost 5 straight. Of course, the 4-game sweep against Boston does not help. They're 56-42, just a game and a half up on the Yankees, who are 55-44. And don't look now, but Boston back above 500, 6 games back of the Rays. Of course, that 13-game winning streak. Baltimore on a 7-game winning streak, just behind them as well. Blue Jays continuing to middle out. They got to get hot. They're 4.5 back of a wild card, 10.5 back of that division, which is probably gone at this point, but that wild card is still on if they really want it, but they got to get going. In the AL Central, the White Sox get the game over the Guardians. They're now 52-46. The Cleveland's 52-48. So 1 game there for the White Sox. They have the lead. Twins still doing well-ish, 49-51. Tigers 46-53. They've been good, but they need to keep it going a little bit more to get back into the race of things. Royals 40-60, one of the bottom teams in the AL, not doing much there. From the AL West, the Rangers have just 1 game above 500. They're 50-49. The Mariners are 50-50, so they're both kind of just 500 ball clubs. However, Texas with that half a game lead over the Mariners. Houston does not help. They got swept by Baltimore. They've lost 4 straight. They're 47-54, 4 games back of the Rangers, 4.5 back of the wild card. So in that position where for the AL West teams, it almost is better off fighting for the division than it would be fighting for the wild card. The Athletics were on a 10-game losing streak before they got their win on Saturday, but they have lots of work to go now. 42-57, losing 10 in a row definitely hurts your chances. They're 8 games back, and I mean, it might be time to call it there. If you're the A's, the Angels, of course, still looking for their 40th win. The worst team in baseball right now, mind you. 39-61, the only team that does not have 40 wins on the season. Not looking good. In the NL East now, you've got the Braves and the Phillies here. The 2 top teams, Braves 57-41. They just took 2 of 3, while the Phillies are 55-45. They just dropped 2 of 3 to the Mets. It's now a 3-game lead for the Braves. The Marlins, not only how they were swept by the Brewers, they've lost 6 straight going back to the first half of the season. They're 52-48, still above 500, still with the last wild card spot, but they're now 6 games back of the division. They need to get back into the win column. Nationals, a happy 500 after 100 games. They're 50-50, 2 games back of a wild card there. Mets 42-58. They're ready to sell it and call it a season. In the NL Central, the Brewers, one of the top teams in baseball, one of the 2 teams with 60 wins. They're 62-37. They've got a 6-game lead over the Cubs, who are 56-43, and really their only competition for the division. Cardinals, Pirates, and Reds are all 10-plus games back. The Cardinals and Pirates, though, both still above 500. They're 51-47 for the Cardinals, 52-48 for the Pirates. Marlins, by the way, that 6-game losing streak and that last third wild card seed, they're tied with the Cardinals and Pirates right now, so you have a 3-way tie for that third spot in the wild card. The NL West, of course, it's the Dodgers to run with. They're 63-37. They have an 11.5 game lead over the Diamondbacks, the largest difference between a 1-team and a 2-team, obviously. Padres, 49-50. They're 2 games back of the Diamondbacks, who are 51-48, 3 games above 500. Good for Arizona. Padres need to get hot. Giants, 42-57. Rockies, 40-61. Those teams kind of dead in the water. You look at the wild card right now. The Yankees, 4.5 up on the line. Cleveland, a game up on the line. Red Sox, 13-game winning streak. They feel good. They are into a wild card position, bumping the Mariners out. Mariners 1 game back. Baltimore 2 games back, tied with the Twins. Astros, Blue Jays, and Tigers, those 3 all 4.5 back. Pretty sure all of those teams were the teams that won a division last year. Question mark. Astros versus Mariners. I forget low-key, but I know Blue Jays and Tigers are the 2 best teams in the AL, and they are sitting both at 46-53, both with very unfortunate seasons going on there. In the NL side of things, Cubs 4.5 on the line, Phillies 3 up on the line. As I mentioned, that 3-game tie, or that 3-team tie for the wild card between the Cardinals, Marlins, and Pirates. And don't look now, but the Diamondbacks only a half a game out from making that a 4-way tie. Then you have the Nationals 2 games back, Padres 2.5 back, Reds 6 back. So, I mean, the Reds are in that tricky position, kind of like the A's are. The A's 8.5 back of the wild card in the AL. Did not mention that. But that is what the standings check is saying for us all. And that now brings us to the last part of today's episode, that being the upcoming series. And I got to tell you, there are some good baseball games going down. The Pirates are in New York to take on the Yankees. What do you get when you have a 20 combined win streak? You've got Baltimore and you've got Boston, the 2 hottest teams in baseball, facing off with a combined 20-game winning streak. One of those streaks will end when these 2 teams play their first game of this series. That's a good one. The Rays are the team to beat right now in the AL East, and they are going up against the Blue Jays in Toronto. The Blue Jays need to find a way to take this series. Giants at Royals. Twins at Guardians. That's a fun one there. The White Sox going up against the Rangers. First in the AL Central versus first in the AL West. That's a big series there. Reds will go up against the Mariners. Cardinals have a series against the Angels. The Marlins looking to end that 6-game losing streak versus the Astros looking to end their 4-game losing streak. They will send Ronel Blanco to start this series. He's pitching in his first game back from Tommy John since last May when he went down. So the Astros getting some reinforcements there. Dodgers and Phillies, little NLDS rematch. You've got Christopher Sanchez on the bump, who pitched against the Dodgers in Game 4 of that series, the last game the Phillies played last year. Padres and Braves will go at it. That's a big one there. You've got the Mets and the Brewers, and by the way, Freddie Peralta makes his first start against his former team, and he is going up against his young phenom, Jacob Mizorowski. That's a fun game going on today for the Mets and Brewers. You've got the Tigers and Cubs, Nationals and Rockies, and the A's will try to get going again against the Diamondbacks, who are looking to stay hot as they've been as of late. As I said, lots of great matchups going down this week. So stay tuned for all of that baseball and more, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to do it for our episode here today. I appreciate everybody. Hopefully this one does a little bit better. YouTube has been down recently, but that's okay. I've got a good feeling about today's episode. If you made it this far, I appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Friday.